As a wedding photographer with over 12 years of experience working with off-camera flash, you might wonder what I'm bringing with me on the day of a wedding. So stick with us in this episode of Photography 180. I'm going to do a super fast breakdown of what I'm bringing and why. Everyone, welcome back to the series. Again, this is a super quick rundown of everything I'm bringing lighting-wise to a wedding day. Whatever's out here on the table, aside from the MagMod Reflector XL kit, gets put right into this Think Tank Streetwalker hard drive bag. Now let's run through everything that's out here quickly. First and foremost, we have our Speedlights. I have a total of 3 Speedlights, one that's used here strictly as a backup. These are my 2 workhorses. They're Flashpoint Zoom Lithium Ion R2. For the most part, I'm attaching a mag sphere on top of them when they're being used, and they're either acting alone on top of camera or as a trigger, triggering off-camera flash, for the most part at either ceremony or reception. When I am setting up that kind of off-camera flash to create a directional light, I'm using the Flashpoint Evolve 200 Pros, and on top of a pair of Cheetah Stand C12s auto collapse stands. That's going to allow me to get a little bit more of an off-camera flash look, a directional look, which I think is hugely important. I am most often also adding a color correction gel for those indoor situations where I want to match the light coming from my strobe with the ambient light that is available, so we don't have a very difficult time doing color correction. The gel's all coming from MagMod as well, very easy magnetic, and usually every single light I have will get a gel, either a quarter or half CTO for those types of scenarios, and then I'll adjust my white balancing camera. But there's also artistic and creative gels here, so you can do all kinds of awesome things, whether you're indoors or when the light gets low. I also have a 100 Pro here from Flashpoint, which is like a soda can size light, really awesome, like a perfect light for accent light, background light. Very low power, but very easy to use, very easy to handheld for your assistants, which is really awesome. A couple other MagMod accessories here. Grids, the mag beam, if I want to use gobos, if I want to get a little creative, if I need a Fresnel, a long telephoto reach, I can use that attachment. So a lot of flexibility here, a lot of opportunities to control light. The mag snoots, same thing. Using those sometimes with detail shots, really want to pinpoint light. The grids, again, stackable, so it's really, really easy to be very quick with the control and very easy to pack these into your bag without having to worry about them breaking. The bigger workhorse here is the Xplor 400 from Flashpoint. You know, obviously if I'm using my bigger modifiers, if I'm using the Reflector XL, or if I'm using the 24 mag box or the 42, I'm gonna be using the 400 Pro, and if I need more power, it's especially the case. So a lot of times I'll use that for portraits, family portraits, whatever it might be. And of course, having the Reflector XL kit gives me an opportunity to soften it up a little bit, but be a little bit more mobile, a little less worried about, you know, the elements, the heavy winds or anything like that. So for the most part, that is everything here. Like I said, the Cheetah Stand C12s. Outside of that, I always carry at least 1 reflector. This is a 32 California Sunbounce. The Cheetah Stand Gamma 150 is another 5-in-1 reflector. It's a little bit larger. We mostly use that for the diffusion. So we're cutting the hard light to really create some nice soft light on our couples. And then, you know, we don't use this all that much, but it is a color adjustable LED light, constant light. So I think it's called the Milo. And again, we're using that mostly for some detail shots, lighting up the dress, the rings, the flat lay, anything like that, or perhaps even creating just a nice little bit of a fill light during you know, bride prep or whatever it might be. So it gives us an opportunity to get a little bit better exposure, and also if we're working side by side with a cinematographer, you know, we don't necessarily have to disrupt his final product by popping off all these extra flashes. So it's good to have that handy. Again, it doesn't get used all that much, but it is great to have. In addition to that, we do have some backup 600 Pros that we keep in the car, some extra light stands, little things like that. But for the most part, this kit here has held up for me over the years. I stand behind Flashpoint. I've used them for years and years and years. They've held up really great. And MagMod as well, Cheetah Stand. These are all great products, all great people working behind the scenes. So really like to support them, and they're very helpful, obviously, to me, giving me these awesome products to use. So I hope this episode's been helpful. I look forward to seeing everyone again next week on Photography 180.